This is Abe Freetanzer from Awards Watch, and I'm thrilled to be here speaking with Sophie Okonedo about her role in Ratched. How are you today, Sophie?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very good.
Great. Congratulations on your Emmy nomination.
Thank you. It's brilliant. I was really happy. Really happy. It's a thrill.
That's great. Do you remember when you first saw or read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
I don't remember. I saw it. I didn't ever read it. I saw it, when I was probably a teenager or something. But I haven't watched it since. So a long, long time ago.
Do you have any memories of Nurse Ratched from that movie?
Yeah, because that character in fact, all the characters were very strong in it, but that character really sticks out. So yeah, you have a kind of, it's one of those characters that everybody remembers, I think.
And so the casting directors from Ratched, when I spoke to them a few months ago, told me that Ryan Murphy wrote this role for you. Can you talk about the process of you joining this show?
Yeah, that's very flattering. I was in Los Angeles just for a few days, and then I got a call from my agent that I was to go and meet him for just a cup of tea. So I went to meet Ryan, and he just said, I'm doing this show, and he explained the show, and he said, I've got in my mind this part for you that I think will really cater to your acting abilities, and it's going to be a character with many personalities. And I said, where can I sign? So that's what he said, and he said quite a few things about it. And as I left his office, I thought, well, does that really happen? Because it just seemed so kind of amazing, the meeting, and the things he was saying were so kind of, the parts were so wonderful. And literally by the time I got back to my hotel, I was offered a contract, and then the script came through, and it was really as he described. So he must hold a lot in his head, for story-wise, because it's really as he described it, and more than, so I was really happy, because you always take a chance when you sign up to things. You don't, often the scripts aren't ready, you kind of know the story, you have to sort of trust the kind of creatives that you're working with, and sometimes that pays off, and sometimes you think, oh God, that's not the right job. But this part, when I got the script, I was like, thank you, I'm very happy. This is something I'm going to really find thrilling to do. And I found the whole process of playing Charlotte and her many sides really thrilling.
Can you talk a bit about that, how you approached your character and any kind of research you did into multiple personality disorder?
Yeah, I did. I did some reading around it, but I didn't really use that. I didn't find it helpful to the actual playing of her, because she often can't remember when she's changed character. She can't remember the character she's been. She can't remember who she is, other than when she comes back to being Charlotte. So I did is I just made each character a real person for myself. Like I approached each, like Baby Taffy, Ondine, Apollo. I approached them as if I was only playing that character, and did the sort of research around being in the Olympics and being either a baby or the kind of life that they would have led for each person. So for each of my characters, I had quite a full exploration of them. So I really, when I was Baby Taffy and I'm talking to my mother, I can visualize what my mother looked like, what things she was feeding me, what treats I was having. I had a very kind of big life for each of the characters, and then the trick was to be able to switch very fast from one to one, and then come back to Charlotte with all that kind of the weight of all that was happened to her. And it's awful. I mean, if you've ever had any time in your life where you can't remember something, or you've been knocked out, or something's happened where you can't remember a part of what's happened, it's so disorientating and frightening. And so I can imagine if that's happening to you on a daily basis, it must be incredibly disorientating and awful. And that I sort of related to that in just a small way, but then I just expanded it. So I always kind of use things that I've had in my own life and then just sort of expand them to kind of fill the character.
Do you have a personality that you liked best and one that you found most challenging?
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I was doing one, I would be like, or if there'd be a scene where there'd only be two of the characters, I think, oh, I really miss Baby Taffy, or I really miss Ondine, So I liked the going between all of them. They were all quite challenging in their way. I tell you what was challenging is when they said to me, I can't remember what episode 6 is, now you're going to be Dr Hanover. And I was like, I hadn't prepared for that one. So that was like, I had to think very quickly about that, because that happened quite fast, and then I was going to be filming quite fast, whereas the others, I'd had a bit of time to prepare and stuff. So that was, but I know I just so had a good time working with John. He's such a great actor, and I had such a brilliant time, working with him and Sarah and the whole cast. It was a real blast.
How did John feel about the fact that you were going to be playing Dr. Hanover?
He was like, he's just so cool. He was cool about everything. I mean, all of us didn't know when we were going to. You never quite knew if you were going to make to the end of the show or not the end of the show. So you kind of just live in the moment. You live each day. I mean, that's the way to sort of deal with filming, because you can't really think, will I be playing this next year or not next year? I love that sort of life. I love the life where I don't really know what I'm doing from month to month. And if it's not the life, if you don't like that life, then probably doing acting is not the job for you, because that is part of it. But I quite like not knowing what's around the corner. I like sort of having to deal with just the moment, so that it suits my personality. But my husband, who quite likes order and stuff, that wouldn't suit him at all. So he's not an actor. He's a builder, he's a construction worker. So
what else can you share about working with other members of the ensemble? Are there any memorable experiences or any actors we might not know as well who you really noticed a lot in the cast?
Oh, well, they're all quite well known, really. So there wasn't really anyone that I worked with that wasn't well known. I say that Sarah, well, probably people know this about Sarah Paulson, is she likes to have a laugh, and she likes to make you laugh. And that was infectious, to the point that some of the group scenes, I couldn't really even look her way, because it would just set me off. So she's really such a funny woman, and she likes to have a giggle, as we say in England.
And so what was it like working with Ryan Murphy? Did you have a good sense of familiarity with him before this project? And did it sort of meet your expectations?
To be honest, I'm going to be totally frank with you. I only ever met him once. Like, I just met him once when I met for that cup of tea, and then I never met him again since. So he's quite elusive. So I mean, I wasn't in the episodes that he directed, and I mean, I was so blessed. The directors I had were brilliant. I mean, Michael, who directed my first episode 5, I just was really happy with the way he directed me and stuff, and I really, had a brilliant time. But so I don't really know Ryan at all, other than from meeting him in that room and then some emails that we had, and that's it.
Another big part of your character is the period setting of the show. Do you enjoy working in that time period and the costumes and all the sets and everything?
The sets and the costumes. I hadn't really known what to expect, and I hadn't worked on a Ryan Murphy show before, so I didn't really realize, being back in England, I was kind of visualizing about Dr. Hanover, and maybe visualizing a little bit about the way the scene would go, and I knew it was in a kind of psychiatrist room. And then when I got there, I forgot, with Ryan, it's not what you would do, it's what you could do. So everything was larger and bigger and more sumptuous than I could ever imagine. And the costumes, the costumes were amazing, and they really added to the kind of, and the sets they just added to everything. So you felt like you had to, the show was quite theatrical. So that was it was a style, and I had to sort of fill that style. There's no point coming on and doing a kind of naturalism. You want it to be based in being authentic and truthful, but there is definitely a sort of energy to the show, which I think was in the language of the script. So I mean, I work very much from the script, and I could feel in the language that there's no point being shy with this. I was going to have to be quite brave and sort of put it out there.
Yeah, I think you did that very well. Are you coming back for season 2? And if so, are you allowed to say anything? I assume the answer is no, but I have to ask anyway.
Yeah, I have no idea, is the thing, as I have literally no idea. So I would tell you if I could. I mean, I haven't been told anything, so.
If so, would you like to explore new personalities, or do you feel like there's still a lot to do with the ones that you've created already?
I feel there's a lot to do. Both, either or. I'd kind of be happy with doing the ones I did, and also I don't want to just do a merry-go-round of characters either. But I think I definitely, there's plenty more to explore within the ones I had, and also perhaps more to explore of Charlotte herself, her real self, I suppose. Or yeah.
And you're in great company in your Emmy category with Claire Foy, Alexis Bledel, McKenna Grace, and Felicia Rashad. Do you watch any of their shows regularly? Are you familiar with any of the actresses? Have anything you can share about their
Yeah, I'm familiar with all the actors in my category, and it's a pretty strong category. I've watched, there's so much content. There's loads of things I haven't watched, but I have watched a bit of most of the shows, not all the seasons, but I've tried it. And in fact, I'm now, because I'm now like part of the Television Academy, so I'm trying to like, you can watch all the things on the platform. So I'm actually just trying to watch everything. So I feel like I can see everything that's on, and they're just all, such a range of actors in our character. I mean, such a kind of all completely different from each other. It is like amazing, In your exploration of TV through the Academy, is there anything you found that really surprised you that you just didn't know about and were really, really impressed by? To be honest with you, I've been like the sheep, and I've just been kind of following things that everyone says are really good. I need to get more into the things that not everybody's watched. So I have just been following a lot of things that, I loved a lot of things that have been nominated a lot. I love, Kate Winslet, and I love I Am a Destroyer, and then all the things that everybody loves it for good reason. It's because they're really great. Absolutely. And what other projects are you working on at the moment? Right now I don't know if I meant to say. Anyway. So right now I have another show that comes out here, but I don't know if it's in America, called Britannia, which is coming out, I think, next month. And then I've got Modern Love, which is shown on Amazon, which is coming out in August, which I did with Tobias Menzies, who's in The Crown, and so we've been all day together doing press for that. So that's been, we had a really good time. So and he's an Emmy nominee as well. So I'll be talking to him very soon, I believe, actually. Great. Yeah, he's like it, and we've become very good friends since we worked together. So we hang out quite a lot. I would assume that Modern Love was a slightly different experience for making this show, just tonally and everything. It was for both of us. I think both of us have been playing quite kind of out there characters, and then we came and did this kind of almost like rom-com, and just quite ordinary people just dealing with life in a kind of sort of beautiful way. And we both had such a brilliant time making it. It was one of those jobs we wished it could have gone on much longer. They're quite short, they're little vignettes, and I could have just done it for a lot longer. And also, me and Tobias were just a really good match for each other. We work in quite a similar way, and we just really sparked off each other. So it ended up being just one of those jobs you look back and think, that was a brilliant job. So. Great. Well, I look forward to seeing that and to your other future projects. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. Thank you very much. And good luck at the Emmys. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.